Forget the battles, forget the save. The knockout stage on The Voice is where careers are made or broken. And when Ralph Edwards stepped up to take on Ed Sheeran's massive hit, Dive, the internet immediately started buzzing. But this wasn't just about winning a round. This was about proving something bigger. The title of this video asks the million-dollar question: is Ralph Edwards The Voice's dark horse to win it all? Because looking at the reaction online, people aren't just saying he did well. They are calling him a once-in-a-lifetime voice, already destined for a record deal, regardless of the final outcome. Tonight we're diving deep, pun absolutely intended, into the raw emotion, the powerful rasp and the community hype surrounding this performance to see if this is the moment Ralph Edwards cemented himself as the next breakout star from The Voice. Let's start with the blueprint. Ed Sheeran's Dive. This is a tricky song. It's emotionally vulnerable, melodically smooth, and it's so associated with Ed's unique, often softer delivery. Taking this on in the knockouts is a massive risk. You can either disappear into the original arrangement, or you can completely own it. And Ralph? He didn't just own it. He took it to a completely different genre space. Many people watching immediately felt he succeeded where others might have failed. I saw early sentiments that he made this his song, his. It's like he took the Ed Sheeran melody and poured an entire bottle of vintage whiskey and a rock and roll edge into it. One viewer put it perfectly. They felt he delivered the song with such passion and like he means every word. That's the first piece of the puzzle for a future star: authenticity. When you're watching, you're not thinking about the competition. You're just feeling the story he's telling. This performance wasn't about perfection. It was about delivery. Now we have to address the elephant in the room, the element that defines Ralph Edwards: the rasp. This vocal texture is what made people stop scrolling. There is an intense debate raging online about this specific technique. On one side, you have the overwhelming majority who are absolutely mesmerized. Phrases like "he has that old-school soul vocal with a gruff rock edge" were common. People highlighted his mastery in balancing the smooth and rough, noting he has the power and, critically, he knows when and how to use it. They felt every gravelly note was earned, a deliberate choice that showcased his vocal control. However, the platform always creates a counterpoint, and we have to look at it honestly. A few felt the rasp was too much. Some suggested the sound was forced or that his natural tone was cleaner, implying the grit wasn't authentic to his core voice. One very detailed observation suggested he lacks the natural, soulful, gritty church flavor, often associated with a gritty growl. This is the core of the curiosity gap. Which is it? Is this calculated risk paying off? Or is it a technique that might eventually alienate voters who prefer pure clarity? My analysis of the performance suggests it was strategic. The rasp didn't just sit on top of the notes. It was integrated. Think about the shifts. The moments where he went back to that incredibly clear tone before slamming back into the grit. That contrast is what one person pointed out as crazy, how he's able to have such a clear tone and then switch into that fry rasp. That control is what separates a novelty singer from a recording artist. The control is what makes him a dark horse and not just a flash in the pan. This is where we get into the future star element. Winning The Voice is amazing, but securing a record deal is the real prize. And this performance has fans convinced he's already there. We saw comments saying things like, "I don't know if he will win, but he most certainly will get a record deal even if he doesn't. This guy is the real deal." That is massive confidence. Why this immediate belief? It circles back to the authenticity we discussed. When someone sings with passion and like he means every word, that translates directly to marketability. Record labels look for artists who connect, not just singers who hit the right notes. The community saw a raw, unfiltered artist in Ralph Edwards that night. Furthermore, the choice of songs is telling. One sharp viewer suggested that his voice would be perfect for Luke Combs' songs, pointing toward a successful country rock lane. Another noted that he rode the melody with power, meaning emotion, and control, just like the real good old school way of performing. This suggests he has a defined lane that is distinct from the current pop landscape, making him an asset to a label looking to diversify its roster. He's not trying to be the next Ed Sheeran. He's trying to be the first Ralph Edwards. The energy is undeniable, but the community is already looking ahead, which is the mark of a true contender. They are anticipating the next challenge. People are already demanding the full studio version. That's a huge indicator of fan desire for consumption beyond the TV broadcast. The most crucial conversation, however, revolves around song selection moving forward. As one person wisely warned, one wrong song will be over opportunity. This performance on Dive established his gritty, soulful capability. Now the audience is hungry for him to continue showcasing that control we talked about. They want to see him push the boundaries without losing the authenticity that won them over in the first place. The fear, expressed subtly, is that he might revert to a safer style or conversely, overdo the rasp. The perfect balance he found here, the emotional resonance, the rock edge, the underlying soul, needs to be the benchmark for every future performance. So, did Ralph Edwards solidify his spot as the dark horse to win The Voice with his take on Dive? The overwhelming community reaction says yes. He delivered a performance heavy on raw emotion, a vocal texture that is utterly unique in the competition, and he did it on a massive stage during the critical knockouts round. He proved he can take a mainstream hit and transform it into something gritty, soulful, and undeniably his. The conversation has moved past, can he sing? To how far can he go? That's the sign of a frontrunner. Now it's time for your take on this electric performance. I want to hear from the divided camp. For those who loved it, if you think Ralph is the winner, what one song from any era, old school soul, classic rock, or modern country, do you think he must sing in the next round to guarantee a spot in the finale? For those who were skeptical, if you felt the rasp was forced, what single song would you suggest he sing next that would force him to rely only on his clean, clear tone? And finally, the biggest question. Did Ralph Edwards' performance of Dive actually move you more than Ed Sheeran's original? Let me know below. Don't forget to like this video if you think Ralph is headed for a major record deal, and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive analysis. We'll see you in the comments!